Do you feel like you're gaining weight, but specifically gaining weight in your lower belly area, in your hips, your butt, the back of your arms? If you're a female and you're struggling with this, the chances of estrogen dominance are there. If you're a male and you are gaining excess belly fat and in your chest area, aka man boobs, then the chances of you having estrogen dominance are there. Today, we're going to dive into estrogen dominance and what causes estrogen dominance, and then natural things that you can do to detox from estrogen. So, welcome back, you guys. Let's dive in. Estrogen dominance is one of those things that is really important to understand because there are certain hormonal factors that can be going on. It can be connected to your cortisol, it can be connected to your female cycle, it can be connected to being low in progesterone, which can put you into estrogen dominance. And there's various lifestyle factors and things like that can put you there. Also, people with endometriosis, they're going to have really high excess estrogen. That's what happens there. And so it's really important to understand and know these things. And sometimes there's genetic factors to this. So let's say, for example, your mom or your grandma had estrogen dominance or endometriosis, that's going to put you at a higher risk for that. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to get it, and it doesn't mean you can't work on combating that. However, there is such a thing as genetics in anything like this. So, for example, if your mom or your grandma had hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's, the chances of you getting that are a lot higher because genetics do get passed down from the parents, even the dad. So, one of the things that people don't always think about is at the time of conception, it is very important that we understand what the health of the father was and the health of the mother. So at the time of conception, the health of the father really, really matters, and the mother as well. But for the mother, it's through the entire pregnancy and postpartum. If you're breastfeeding, then that health really, really matters because there are genetics that will get passed on through. For example, I didn't know this, but apparently when I was pregnant, I had a lot of food sensitivities that I didn't know. They really came forward when I was postpartum and breastfeeding my kid. And a lot of the things that I found out that I was sensitive to, he was sensitive to as well. So he had a lot of gut issues as a baby. So let's dive into estrogen dominance. What causes estrogen dominance? There are so many things in this life that will cause estrogen dominance. Let's start with skincare and the products that we put on our skin on a daily basis. There are so many toxic skincare products that are just filled with chemicals and toxins that can contribute to your estrogen. Not to mention taking it a step further, the plastics that these things are stored in. So a lot of the cosmetics are stored in really cheap, very bad plastics that are full of toxins and chemicals and estrogens and BPAs, and that stuff seeps in through your product, and then you're applying it through your skin. And that can contribute to your estrogen dominance. And we wonder why so many young girls have hormone issues. This is part of the reason. And then we also have the BPAs and all the chemicals and things that are stored in plastic containers. If you're putting your food in there, when you put that plastic in the microwave with your food, now all of a sudden, whatever's in that plastic is seeping into your food and then you're eating it. And that's one of the reasons why I primarily use glass at home. Anything that I'm cooking with is either going to be glass, stainless steel, or cast iron. I don't use non-stick stuff. That's the other thing. Non-stick cooking materials, they are full of toxins and chemicals that can lead and contribute to your estrogen dominance problem. So our environment is a huge factor of it. Like, are these things happening? And this is part of it. And then we want to think about obviously the foods that we're eating as well. So if we're eating a lot of fast foods, we're eating a lot of seed oils, we're eating a lot of poor quality soy will have you in estrogen dominance. I coached this client a few years ago that was having a soy milk latte every single day, and she was in estrogen dominance. And I told her, listen, let's get rid of your soy milk and let's replace it with something else and see what happens. And sure enough, she started to notice a difference in how she was feeling. And she was really anxious too, because it can put you in a hyperalkaline state too. So just by getting rid of that soy milk latte, it helped with that. So especially if you're a guy, like you don't want to be eating a lot of soy. That's the other thing with men is your estrogen levels really, really matter. So if you are noticing like all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I got man boobs and I shouldn't, like I'm not working out or not, if you're strong, if you have a strong chest because you're working out and it's muscular, that's completely different. That's just a strong chest, strong pecs that are muscular. That's not man boobs. But if you have man boobs, you have high estrogen and you need to get that estrogen down. And so that's really important to know and understand. And then it's belly fat as well. And one of the worst things that can happen for you in your health is excess belly fat. That means if you have excess belly fat, it means that you have excess visceral fat, which is around your organs. And visceral fat is very bad for our health. You want that visceral fat to be low. So if you have high belly fat, you have high visceral fat. And that's why it's important to understand that it's not just about losing weight, it's about losing fat. I put this post out on Facebook in the last couple weeks, and I just said, estrogen lives in our fat cells, which you're understanding now, and toxins are attracted to fat cells. And so estrogen goes into fatty adipose tissue, and toxins are attracted and they live in adipose tissue, fat cells. And so it's this whole like family of problems. High estrogen. And so if you want to get rid of estrogen and toxins, you want to focus on fat loss, not just weight loss. Are they the same thing? No. You can lose a bunch of weight and still be high in fat because you didn't replace that fat with healthy muscle. And you want to replace it with healthy muscle. What are some other things that can contribute? Alcohol. So if you drink a lot of alcohol, it very much will affect your estrogen levels. I remember there was this one year that I wasn't drinking every day or anything like that, but I was just drinking more than what I normally would. And at the end of the year, I did some blood work and I was like, man, my estrogen levels are higher than I've ever seen them before. And it was literally because I had drank more that year than I really had in a long time. And I saw a significant change in my estrogen levels. I just cut it out. I like cut it out for some time and then I just have it randomly here and there. I don't ever really have it in my house. It's either when I go out, I have a cocktail with a friend or something like that. It's very minimal and that makes the hugest difference. So if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, the chances of you being in estrogen dominance are much higher as well. Also, if you're eating a lot of sugar, that's not going to help either. Not everybody is in estrogen dominance, but here's the other thing that will put you in estrogen dominance. There has to be a balance between estrogen and progesterone in your body. And crazy enough, I run labs for so many women, and almost every single one of them is low in progesterone. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's a naturopath about this, and I was like, are you seeing this too? And she's like, oh, yeah. Like, it is very rare that we see progesterone levels where we really should see them. And progesterone is really important for fertility. So, if you are in the age of fertility and you want to have kids, your progesterone levels matter. And crazy enough, FSH and LH are the two hormones that most general doctors will look at, but not progesterone. And if you are someone that is struggling with miscarriages or struggling even getting pregnant, the one thing that you need to look at, other than FSH and LH, is your progesterone levels. I had a friend of mine that was having miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage, and I was like, are they checking your progesterone levels? And she like went through her blood work and she's like, no, they've never checked my progesterone levels. They wanted to, do fertility treatments and stuff like that. All they were checking were LH and FSH, and that wasn't enough. If you are in estrogen dominance, it is harder for your body to stay pregnant. Here's why. Your progesterone needs to be high in the beginning of the pregnancy so that you can stay pregnant, because progesterone's job is to keep you pregnant, keep the baby in. If your estrogen is too high, it can't happen. Your estrogen's job is to birth the baby. So towards the end of the pregnancy, your estrogen levels spike up. One, to get your ligaments loose, to get your hips loose, and prepare your body to be able to birth the baby. That's why estrogen levels go up. That's why you'll see in that third trimester that you'll gain more fat during that time, because your body is preparing you to birth the baby. But in the beginning, if your estrogen is too high and your progesterone is too low, it's very hard for the body to continue to keep the baby in, and why, many women miscarry if that's not addressed. Now, some doctors are good and they actually give high doses of progesterone for a period of time to help the body stay pregnant if the woman is just not able to get her progesterone levels up. But these are really important things to know and understand. Let's talk a little bit about how you can naturally detox from estrogen. There are so many things that you need to be doing and that you can be doing. Number one, you need to swap out your skincare. If you are still using toxic skincare and applying those things, you want to swap those. I have a company, Miss Commando, non-toxic skincare, which is goat milk soaps, goat milk lotions, shea butters. We have a goat milk face cream. We even have soap for a baby. We're going to come out with a baby cream as well. These are all non-toxic skin products for your general skincare. Your soaps you can use for showering, washing. We have a charcoal soap bar for detoxing under the armpits. And you can also use it for an acne face and hand washing. Like, I literally have them everywhere in my house. Go to misscommando.com and your skincare. You have the soaps, the lotions, the balms, and the face cream, and start swapping those things out. They smell good. We don't use any toxins, parabens, phthalates, nothing like that, but they still smell good. We use a non-phthalate scent, and it's not hormone disruptive, so it's not going to affect your hormones, or we use essential oils, one or the other. But our customers love our products, 10 out of 10. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because those things are really, really important. And I've been using non-toxic stuff for many years. But we go a step further and we also store it in hemp fiber, biodegradable, non-toxic containers. So your products are coming in a safe container so that it's not seeping into your product that you're going to be applying on your skin. The next thing that you want to think about is, what are you storing your food in? What are you cooking your food in? Make sure that you are using non-toxic stuff so that that stuff's not seeping in through the food that you are going to ingest, because then you're just going to overload your system. Okay. Cut back on the alcohol, cut back on the fatty processed foods, highly processed foods, and highly processed sugars. Cut back on those things. Cut it out as much as you possibly can. And then the third thing that I just want to add here is cutting out seed oils will do wonders for your life. Seed oils are one of the number one things that will cause chronic inflammation in your body. Raw carrots are amazing to help your body detox naturally from estrogen, specifically the liver. So, estrogen can be stored in your organs, but specifically the liver. And raw carrots, even if you just eat like one raw carrot a day, I put them in my smoothies, but you can also just get the don't eat baby carrots. Those are washed in chlorine and they're not grown in baby carrots. They process them to make them baby carrots. And you ever eat a baby carrot and you're like, why am I burping after I eat a baby carrot? It's because they're washed in chlorine and they cut them down like that. And so once you start eating raw carrots that come directly from the garden, I also challenge you to go get raw carrots at the farmer's market or your local gardener and just taste the difference between those and the ones at the grocery store. Either way, the big, long organic carrots, eating one of those a day, just straight up, like sometimes I'll just eat one right before dinner. I just eat it raw. That's my vegetable. But that is a natural detox. Or you can also make like a carrot salad. I'm too lazy to do that. I'm not going to make a carrot salad. I'm just going to eat the carrots straight up. I'm just being very transparent with you guys. But some people like a raw carrot salad. So if you want that, you can make a raw carrot salad and then eat that. But I don't. I'm giving you the easy way out if you're okay eating the carrot raw. Dry skin brushing helps with the lymphatic system. Feels really good, but it can kind of like open up your skin a little bit too. Well, not like open up, but open up those pores a little bit. And in order for you to detox better, so supporting your lymphatic system with that, dry skin brushing is really good. I'm a huge fan of castor oil packs as well. Castor oil is like the Windex of if you guys know what I'm talking about, like my big fat Greek wedding, they use Windex for everything. Here we use castor oil for everything. You got bloating, we use castor oil. You got inflammation, we use castor oil. You got PMS cramps, we use castor oil. So applying a castor oil pack can be so helpful. And there is something like I've literally had people with like cysts and, just strange things like that. And they apply castor oil and it actually starts to dissipate. So it's really awesome stuff. So you can do castor oil, exercise. You need to be exercising. Exercising is detoxing. Okay. So in order to help your body detox and get rid of excess estrogen, you need to be sweating. And exercise is part of that. You can also do a sauna. Now, I don't suggest doing a sauna without exercising because you still need to get your movement in. So, doing a sauna a few times a week just to get extra sweat can be really good if you need to really sweat out these toxins. But getting movement in is really, really important. So make sure that you do that. The other thing that I want to share here, real quick, this is for men specifically. If you are taking, and women, it can happen too, but I want to talk to the men here specifically right now. If you are taking testosterone, which there is nothing wrong with taking testosterone, I take a micro dose of testosterone because my levels just weren't getting to where they needed to be and I couldn't keep them there, probably because I am so busy all the time and I use all my testosterone every single day. So my body like just couldn't keep up. Also, my cortisol levels were too high for a period of time. And if you have high cortisol levels, it can deplete your testosterone. And it's just this ripple effect of things. So with that being said, for some men, when they take testosterone, they have to take an estrogen blocker with the testosterone. Now, I had a friend of mine who that was happening. Like he had been on testosterone for quite a few years, done really well on it. But all of a sudden there was things going on and they did some blood work and I was like, your estrogen's way too high. Like, what are you doing to help with your estrogen? And he's like, well, my doctor didn't say anything. I was like, no, I'm telling you, your estrogen is too high. And so he went on an estrogen blocker. But here's the next thing that you can do for both men and women if you have high estrogen levels. Okay. There's something called DIM Pro or DIM Detox. Now, the one that I really like is called Hormone Advantage. And I'm going to have this link in the show notes so that you can grab it from my full script. And all you have to do is create an account and you can get this supplement for 15% off. Anything that you get on my full script dispensary, you get 15% off. But this is called Hormone Advantage. And the reason I like this one versus just straight up dim is because it has a blend of things. And and these things are very specific to help you detox estrogen from your body, from your liver. So it has like broccoli sprouts. The one that I like has, I believe, raspberry something in there. I can't remember, but I really like that one and have seen amazing results from my clients using that one, what is called Hormone Advantage. And you're going to be able to get that. So that's something that if you know that you are in high estrogen levels and you need to detox from estrogen, I would highly recommend that. The second thing that I want to recommend here is Balance by Ula. It's called Balance for Her. Now, speaking to the men here for a minute, I know it's promoted and sold, meant for women, but I actually have men that are using it too because of what's in it. Now, it's not going to turn you into a woman. I can promise you that. This is just how they're marketing it. But it's a magnesium blend, and 99.9% of people are magnesium deficient. And just taking a magnesium, like one type of magnesium, I never think that that's enough. It always needs to be a blend. And this has a blend of magnesium in it, 3 of the best magnesiums that you can take. It has adaptogens in it, maca root, which is really good for your testosterone, and then a couple other adaptogens that are hormone supportive and cortisol supportive. Okay. So I've had people go on these, and on this one, it tastes like a little vanilla chai. You can just take it straight out of the pouch, or you can put it in coffee, tea, water, whatever it is that you want. You can take it in the morning if you want, or you can take it at night if you want it to help you sleep better. There's various different ways. There's no right or wrong way. I did have someone tell me that it made them really sleepy, so they had to take it at night, which is great. It helps you get better sleep. For some people, magnesium will do that, and for most people, it doesn't. What I'm finding out is shocking with this product. I had a gal, we thought that she might need to go on hormone replacement therapy just because of where things were at, and she just wasn't feeling good. She went on this balance, and within a few weeks, she's like, I'm a completely new person. This stuff is magic. Like, I can't believe how different I feel. And so what we're doing is we're having her take it for 90 days, and then we're going to retest her blood work to see, hey, how much did it help her levels? So I'm very excited about that. I had another gal that started taking it, and she's like, I was literally taking it for a week, and she got her period, and she's like, my period was way smoother. Like, she didn't have, even her husband said, like, you don't have the same symptoms that you normally do. You're a lot better. Like, your period isn't as severe. And so it makes a huge difference. Several other people usually have anxiety. They dealt with anxiety for years, and they started on this, and it has helped them with their anxiety. I just talked to someone today, and she's like, I haven't had any kind of anxiety for the last 2 weeks. Like, I feel amazing. And so what I want to tell you guys is sometimes it's also about giving your body what's missing before it can actually do what it needs to be doing. It's not a matter of pushing through, it's not a matter of ignoring it. It's a matter of what does your body need and then giving it that. So if there's 2 things that I could tell you to do, it would be to get the Hormone Advantage, which is it's a dim detox, and the Balance for Her. Now, I'm going to have both of those in the show notes, so you can grab those. Real quick with the Balance for Her, you want to give it time. So I always tell people, like, give it a minimum of 90 days to get the full effects. You will notice a difference sooner, but give it at least 90 days to get the full effects. So subscribe and save is better. If you're not sleeping well, you want the rest gummies too. The rest gummies are life-changing. They're so amazing. But those are things where I would start. So recapping a little bit, if you feel like or know that you are in estrogen dominance, take note. What are the things that you can do? Okay, pay attention to your skincare, your cookware. What are you storing your foods in? Are you sweating, dry brushing, castor oil packs, exercise, and then adding in these additional things to help your body detox and get rid of those things naturally. I hope this was a very helpful episode for you. And I hope you guys apply these things and see the magic happen. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning into the Lizzie Young Show. If you're ready to take the next step to transforming your health and life, visit www.undietyou.com for all my resources and to book your consultation today. Don't forget to subscribe and join me each week for more tips, inspiration, and conversations with phenomenal guests to help you feel your best. See you guys next week.